Success is about patience, about wisdom, about perseverance, standing up quickly after you fall. They teach us that success is perfection. Perfection does not exist.
The CEO and co-founder of the retail empire, Brands for Less Group.
Toufic Kreidieh.
In a car park garage in Beirut, under a building. We went there with $10,000 and we started our first store.
He is one of the masterminds behind building a billion-dollar brand and is one of the most remarkable success stories to come out of Dubai.
You sold 35% of your company for $360 million, and now you have a valuation of $1.2 billion.
First of all, the most important thing is your reputation. And your reputation, you build it only with honesty.
Most people that don't succeed in entrepreneurship don't have the stamina, not because they have a bad idea or a bad product, but because they don't stay in the craft long enough to see the upside later.
At the end of the day, whatever we do and whatever we become is a byproduct of the circumstances that we go through.
Most of the time, people that succeed the way you have, it doesn't come from privilege, it comes from a lot of hard work. What is the bigger picture for you? You know, you being an entrepreneur and as a human being, what is the big picture of success for you?
First of all,
Toufic, thank you so much for coming onto my podcast.
thank you for inviting me.
I think people like you are the reason why I started the podcast, because I could pick your brain to talk about the things they don't tell us, right? We see amazing successes in this region and globally, and sometimes we just have no idea how you got there. So I think this could be a really important opportunity for a lot of people to be watching you to kind of learn how, right? How.
We hope always to benefit some people with some information. And we're always looking into trying to help, especially young entrepreneurs.
Amazing. I'm hoping to get a few tips from you, since I have some businesses as well that I'm running, and I would love some insight. So let's start at the very beginning. First, I would like for you to give us an early context, maybe dive us into who you were that shaped you into who you are today, what your mission is, what you're doing, and who you are as a person.
You know, as a person, I was unfortunate yet fortunate enough, because at the end of the day, whatever we do and whatever we become is a byproduct of the circumstances that we go through. And I was born in 1971, 4 years old, eruption of the ugliest civil war in Lebanon. At the same time, I had a lot of challenges on the family side. So I had to really start working from very early age.
How old were you when you started?
My first job was like 12 years old. I was a delivery boy.
Wow.
And, but I had a very clear objective. I wanted to finish my education, and I wanted to really pursue my career in a better environment. So I got scholarships. After scholarships, I finished my school. Then I went to university. I studied at the Lebanese American University. It was called BUC at that time. I graduated, and I said, I'm going to take the first job out of Lebanon. And that's what happened. I took the first job offer that came to me. Even it was not up to my expectation, just to get out of there, to change the environment.
What year was this?
This was 1992.
1992. And when you told me you started working, I mean, I'd like to touch on that a little bit, because it's important for people to know that most of the time, people that succeed the way you have, it doesn't come from privilege. It comes from a lot of hard work. So you said delivery boy at 12 years old.
Yes.
And then from there, how did you start making some money?
From there, the first job I took to Saudi Arabia back in 1992, the salary was extremely low. It was $700 as administrative in an office, a small company, a very small company. The money that I used to earn, I used to send back home to my family, and I used to wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, go down. I found a restaurant that they do falafel sandwich for the schools, and I used to make or prepare falafel sandwiches, and they used to pay me per sandwich, and this is the money I used to live with. And, after that, I got a better job offer to the United Arab Emirates, which I consider home. I moved, and I started and I progressed very quickly on the job level as an employee, and I reached a point whereby I became a general manager, and always I had this intention of starting my own business, and when the opportunity presented itself, I just took it.
And when you say that you were an employee, which industry was this in?
I worked for a period of time with the government as I used to run their free zone in Ajman. And then after that, I worked for an oil company and I became their general manager. They moved me from here to Lebanon as a general manager for the Lebanon operation. While I was there, I started my concept of off-price in Beirut with my best friend, my partner, Yasser Baidoun.
I love that. Okay, so that's what I was going to go back to, because you said you went to the GCC to work. So at some point you went back to Lebanon.
Yes.
This was in 1996.
Yes.
And how was it like setting up a business in Lebanon, what we know today as BFL?
It was a very humble start because we didn't have capital. Me and Yasser, we had only $10,000 on the side. And we said we want to start our own business. We already have visited the United States. We saw the concept there. We were not reinventing the wheel. Rather than we were introducing a new concept to this part of the world. So with $10,000 in a car park, garage in Beirut, under a building, we went there with $10,000 and we started our first store.
So take me back to that. So you said you replicated an already proven concept,
Yes.
which is, I think, what most people should do instead of trying to reinvent the wheel. That's so much harder. So I love that you're saying that. You replicated an existing concept in the US. You had $10,000. And with that $10,000, what was your first investment?
In terms of fixing the store and buying some merchandise, partially cash, partially credit from wholesalers. So, all the profits have been sucked out already, but trying, to really make or create value to the end consumer. The nice thing is that at that time, Lebanon was just starting to get out of the Civil War. What helped us is all this diaspora, Lebanese diaspora, who have brand recognition already about the brands. There was no much representation of the brands in Beirut at that time. And we were able to get the item for them at a discounted price and sell it to them at a very discounted price, making our acceptable margins. Yet we believed, until till today we believe, that the brand is a right, is not a privilege. So that's what is the message of our business that we keep on doing until today.
So when you say brands are a right, not a privilege, you wanted to make luxury brands affordable to everyone? Is this it?
Why not?
And what's the business model there?
This is exactly the business model. The business model is, the off-price business is a very big business today. And it's part of the cycle of retail. It's a disruptive business. So when you enter with such business, you will find that you are disrupting the regular retail business. So you are not much welcomed in the market. It's an uphill battle that you have to go and really find your space and your place and your product offering amongst all these players, retail players. You will find a lot of shut doors at the beginning. Malls will not take you in. They will try to tell you that you are, instead of helping my business, you are disrupting my business. I would like to stay away until the point whereby they reach the point whereby they will understand what you are doing. They know how much traffic you pull into the mall, and then they will come after you and ask you to come and open. And thanks God today, we exist in, I can say, 98% of the malls.
But when you say I'm curious to know how it disrupts the business, because aren't you buying from retail?
No.
Where do you buy from?
Our business is based on parallel import. We buy from, of course, either we buy from retailers across the globe, or we buy from distributors, or we buy from licensees, or we buy from the brands.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, in the parallel import, we import the merchandise directly from outside into here, directly to the end consumer.
Okay.
So
Then you're kind of bypassing. Okay,
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so when you started BFL in 1996 in Lebanon, what was the hardest decision you had to make?
The hardest decision was the choice of the business itself, because at the end of the day, you are introducing something that's new to the community. Remember, at that time, there was no social media. There was no internet, barely there was internet. And you had to tell people what you are doing. And the conspiracy theories are all over the place. Why is he selling it cheap? Is it fake? Is it used? All of these things, all these questions had to be answered to your clients. And what helped us the most is how the community is close to each other. So the word of mouth was extremely effective.
Okay, that's interesting. And now when you reach the stage of where you are today, do you feel like you have more pressure to succeed, or the pressure of fear of failure is stronger?
I think today the fear of failure, we really passed this phase long time before. Today it's always focusing on maintaining and increasing your success, is geographically spreading your presence to more and more countries.
Okay, so let's go back to where you hit headlines. You sold 30%, is it?
We sold 35%.
35% for $330 million.
$360 million.
$360 million.
Yes.
Wow, as if 330 is not enough. So you sold 35% of your company for $360 million, and now you have a valuation of $1.2 billion.
Thanks, God. Yes.
That is so impressive. I mean, from Lebanese to Lebanese, I'm impressed. And I'm sure UAE, because you have built this business in the UAE, is even more impressed. So it's quite inspiring. I wanted to understand, what was your moment where you realized this is no longer a small business? I mean, obviously it's not now after the sale. I'm talking way back then, when you realize, okay, hold on a second, I'm no longer operating a small business. This is on a global scale business, and I could reach this valuation one day. When was that moment?
Okay, the moment, of course, when you're going through the journey, you don't pay attention to, let's say, very pivotal moments of your journey. And the first time we really started feeling that we are really going global is the moment when we went outside our comfort zone, the United Arab Emirates, and started spreading towards the other GCC countries. And the whole expansion was very rapid, very strong, very fast.
How did it happen? What was the foot in the door in the UAE?
At the end of the day, in the UAE or outside the UAE?
So you started in Lebanon.
Yes.
And how big did you grow in Lebanon? And then what was the opportunity that got you here?
No, Dubai was the place where we really made it. Let's go back.
Okay.
In year 1996, we started our first store in Lebanon. And we grew from 1 to 3 stores at that time. In year 2000, I was moved back to the UAE. I went to the bank. I did the same exercise. I took a personal loan of 150,000 dirhams, which is $40,000. I put my resignation. I started the first store. And the first store, and that's it. This was the money that I had. I had nothing else. It was a 90 square meter store. And, I used to clean the store, do cashiering. Me and Yasser used to offload containers together. We really did it the hard way. And we started the first store here in the UAE. Slowly, it started growing. We started opening more stores. We're getting our product offerings to be more exciting, more inviting to the customers. It strengthened our relationship with suppliers. And, we started having our good reputation. People started telling about our business, started visiting us. And immediately, because we believed in what we are doing, we started expanding. So everything we got out of the business, we reinvested. It's retained earnings. So re-injected into the business. And we grew the business organically
You didn't need any investments at the beginning?
We needed everything. But this is what you have. These are the tools that you have. And you have to manage with these tools. And you don't have the luxury of failure. You have to remember. Because, loans are waiting for you. So it's either you make it happen or you fight or you flee. And there's no way that we were going to flee. We wanted to fight. We wanted to make it happen. It was a very difficult journey.
And back then, I think the laws on bounce checks or unpaid loans were very strict here.
Yes.
Like deportation automatically.
Extremely.
I remember.
Jail, deportation, you name it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when do you think, whether it was something that you did or not, when do you think is the right time to ask for capital injection in that business? Or in general, maybe even?
In general, it's from day one. The resources are extremely important, the financial resources. And there are two ways of doing it. It's either you go and raise money and you lose equity, or you go through debt. We chose to go through debt to maintain our ownership of the company and, to sell it at the right time, which was, the transaction that happened lately with TJ Maxx.
So you do, you're on Shark Tank now. I've watched a few of your episodes. And I wonder, when do you think would be the right time or an intelligent time for a new business owner to maybe find that sweet spot where they give ownership, but they're not giving up too much because they came in too early asking for investment and the investor knows that they need me now more than I need them? What is the sweet spot, you think?
I think the sweet spot is when you really are indifferent in terms of if it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. Yes, there are advantages why you want it to happen. I think we reached a point, me and Yasser, at a certain, whereby we started, you reach a certain age and you start thinking about succession, you start thinking about your children, about continuity of your business, about the legacy that you want to build, and you want it to continue. You want your business to overlive you. You are building something, and this is what we do believe, me and Yasser, is that, we want to build a legacy. It's not only about money. People really misunderstand businesses when they think about it as only financial transaction. We are so much in love with our company that, we will work until the last day of our lives. So it's the perception, it's a different mindset, and I respect all different opinions, but this is our opinion.
Do you think if you have a mindset of only money, you have a glass ceiling on top of you, or you could only have the goal of money out of a business idea and succeed anyway?
I think you should focus on what you are doing. You should focus on what value addition you are making. What are you creating around you? Are you creating... I'm very proud of what we have created, to be very frank with you, because I see it in the faces of the employees. I see how proud BFLers they are. Every day I go into the office, the smile on their face, it's not only on the shopping bag. Yes, and they are fighters and they are hard workers. Once you find yourself that you have created this environment, you say, I have really contributed to something. You get me? These are my family members. Imagine your family members usually are in the range between 5 and 10, and suddenly you have 3,600 family members that you bond with on daily basis. It's really amazing. It's, people should look into the big picture. I'm not being philosophical here. Yes, of course, money is important. Of course, you're going to, at the end of the day, try to monetize all the efforts and all the hard work that you have done. But remember, this is not your end goal. Your end goal is you started something where it was the day you left this planet. Is it there? Is it going to live after you, or is it going to die with you?
So what about people that want to, sell it at a high valuation and exit?
Of course. Listen, again, some people believe that retirement is something nice. Some people believe that you retire, you die. We have in Lebanon retired متقاعد يعني بيموت وهو قاعد. So this is different mentality or different perception or different values. You know, our values are different. Our values, me and Yasser, are to give as much as we want, as we can. It's not only to the business, it's only also to give back to the community.
Right.
So this is also something that we so much believe in, me and Yasser, the charity and the giving back and the generosity, because at the end of the day, you have to look into, are you a believer, even if you're a believer or you're not a believer, if you believe that everything God is giving you, it's only for you, I think you've made a big mistake. If you believe and you start questioning, is he giving me this because I'm a channel to others,
To give back.
then you got the right message. That's what we believe.
I love that. I love that. So do you believe that energy is always given as much as you receive it?
100%.
Yeah, I love that. So is there any specific principle or habit that you've clung on to since, you know, building this business, and anything you were forced to unlearn?
First of all, the most important thing is your reputation. And your reputation, you build it only with honesty. Stick to whatever you're going to say. Respect your word. With other people, people will start respecting you back. And you will find yourself in a position whereby your word becomes a goodwill by itself, whereby it's valued, it's appreciated, it's cherished, whereby the suppliers will be supporting you more and more with time by giving you line of credit, but you know, because they know that you are honest. Don't look into the fast cash. Some people want the fast cash. Fast cash, you know, you get it, you will spend it, and that's it. First, stick to your ethics. Tell or try to introduce your ethical background to the people that you deal with. It's not a matter of money only. There's also personal network and relation that you build with time with others. Now, something that I really learned to undo is very simply, it's micromanagement. I used to micromanage, and you know, when the business grows, you have to start learning how to let go, how to give more trust, more belief in your team to take care of things. I think this was the most difficult, but this is what I have
I
unlearned.
think I'm in that phase in my life. Now that my business has grown, I have to delegate. And it's so hard. It's one of those things that you feel like, if I do it, I could do it better, but I don't have the time.
Yes,
So I'm going to have to settle for 80%,
that's true.
right?
That's true. That's 100% true.
It's so tough.
And trust me, with time, they will do it 110%.
Yeah. So walk me through that, because I mean, I've read a lot on this matter since I'm now in the phase where I'm leading and managing different teams. And they say that if you train, I mean, obviously they're not going to come trained, but if you invest in them so much so that they turn out to be better than you, then you have won. As opposed to always thinking that you know better, you will always
100%.
have to lead and manage.
100%.
That's
and
how
always,
yeah.
and always, you know, because I'm older than you, I always look into the younger people. They're, you know, they are blessed with energy. They are smarter than us. They know better than us. They know more
They're more
than we
advanced
know.
technologically as well.
Exactly. So what do you want better than that? You know, you're getting or you are helping in shaping a better version of you. And this is the mindset that you should have. You expect them to be perfect, you're mistaken. You were never perfect. With time, things got better and better, and you became wiser and wiser. It didn't happen overnight. So you have to give them the same chance, I think, you give to yourself.
I absolutely agree with that. I think, I mean, from myself, I used to be an employee. I was in investment banking. And in that world, it was very, very tough to disappoint your bosses. Like, one time was your only chance, you know? And I remember the feeling that if I wasn't given the opportunity, or if someone micromanaged me, I would lose my confidence. I would not know how to make good decisions anymore. I would always feel like I need maybe to check in to see if it's okay. But in the opportunities that I was given, where I had a carte blanche to, you know, make a mistake, and I would be corrected for that mistake just to learn and do better, I had more guts, more guts to make decisions. So I always try to remember that when I'm working with people that are working for me now, that I realize that in many ways, firstly, if giving up my money to invest in these people is not really giving up my money. It's opening doors for me to make money somewhere else that my time is required to make cash, as opposed to, admin stuff that I don't need to do. So that's a huge learning for me. And I'm glad that you're talking about that, because there is that phase where people feel like, I'm not going to pay 10,000 dirhams now for this. It's too much. But then when you do it, after a few months, you're like, of course, how have I not been doing this all my life?
The best thing ever. It's the best feeling also.
Yeah.
It's how much rewarding it is to feel that you have replicated yourself and there's someone who feels that the business is his work. Yes.
100%. And even, I've been sick the past couple of days, and the couple of people that are working for me now, I'm like, wow, the business is still running without me. I can just sit and watch Netflix and the business can run. It's amazing. Like, it's such a good feeling. Agreed. Okay, let me take it to myself, since I have you here. I have a business, it's called Mama Booza. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's an ice cream brand, Arabic flavors. We have 5 main flavors. We've been up and running for a year.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I wonder, in an operation that's brand new, and now we're on aggregators, we're selling online, do you think in this day and age, in this market, a smarter move would be to have a flagship store, to have sell online for a product like ice cream, to expand franchising to diaspora, maybe across, a different continent, and then bring it back here? What do you think would be the next strategy or the best move?
I can never, ever advise you with anything without me seeing the numbers.
Yeah.
So I have to look into the numbers. We have to see the history.
Yeah.
We have to see the potential. And accordingly, I can really advise you.
Yeah.
I don't want to advise you on air now without background.
Not proper
Yes,
advice.
yes.
But I'm just thinking out loud, like, do
All
you
the
wait
options
until
are
you're
open.
breaking even? Do you wait until you're in profit? Do you wait after till you're breaking even to do plans like this? Like, in general, theoretically.
It always depends on the resources that you have, the investors, the appetite of the investors, how far they would go. Did you take this into your business plan that you're going to go through a phase of loss, let's say, for you to be able to really start making money? If all of these are accounted for, if you have a calculated risk, you always take it. Listen, we live one time.
Yeah.
If we're going to stay afraid, we'll never move.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a mistake, I guess, a lot of people do, and maybe sometimes myself, where we wait till the brand is perfect. We wait till everything is perfect before we make moves.
Yes.
But then we end up wasting 6 months.
Yes.
Like, no need. We can move with great flavors, and maybe we can fix the branding a little later. Maybe the website can be fixed a little later.
Always. There are always mistakes that we need to learn from, correct, and move on. The most important thing, never doubt what you are doing. You have, in other terms, if you really believe in the idea and it makes sense, and you believe that you want to achieve or start this business and you really believe in it, don't doubt yourself at any moment that, I'm going to quit the whole thing. Always doubt the way you're doing it and correct it. So if it's not happening and there are mistakes or the numbers are not amazing, it doesn't really mean that, your idea is wrong. If you have to believe in the idea and you have to continue believing in your idea, you say, maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Correct.
So let me go correct. Maybe I need online. Maybe I need brick and mortar. Maybe I need distribution. Maybe you get me?
Absolutely.
How you are doing it.
Absolutely.
Once you start shaking your mind, changing about your objective or what you are doing or the business itself, you will never succeed in anything. Because there's nothing called the easy walk towards success. Does not exist, unfortunately.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, at the very beginning, when we weren't seeing high margins, it's not that the product, people love the product. Maybe the marketing was not done right. Maybe we could save costs somewhere else, So we just have to solve the problem as opposed to cancel on the whole thing altogether. And maybe that's the bigger mistake. I feel like most people that don't succeed in entrepreneurship don't have the stamina for entrepreneurship. Not because they have a bad idea or a bad product, but because they don't stay in the crap long enough to see the upside later. If you're willing to sit in the crap long enough, you might have a chance to see what's at the other end of the tunnel. But most people want fast money, quick deals, and if they don't see, if they're sitting in the dog stuff at the very beginning, they're just like, I'm done. I want to get out. I think I've learned that a few times early on, so which is why now I have stamina to sit through it, sit through the pain. So when you secured the 360 million, what was the humbling moment? I mean, I'm sure it was a discussion over, it's not like one day, the conversation, but was there a moment where it was, a surprising moment or a humbling moment where you're like, wow.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It was extremely exciting for us. You cannot believe how excited we were. And we will always be excited. First of all, it's a recognition from the largest player in the world. You're talking Fortune 100 company. Looking at your business that you built from scratch in an underground parking, reaching out to you, valuing your business at $1.2 billion and telling you that you are the right partner for them. It means you've been doing it right.
Yeah.
So it's so much rewarding. It's much more rewarding, believe it or not, and some people will start like mocking what I'm going to say. It's even more rewarding than the money itself.
I believe that. I 100% believe that. You would know as much when you are not handed things, when it's literally from nothing.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like the concept itself, the byproduct of what you have is a success more than how much money you're getting. And if everyone recognizes it as such. What did they do for you in the UAE? Did they like put up a red carpet for you? What happened?
No, the nice thing is, of course, and this is the reason why we live here and our kids were born here and this is home for us. The nice thing about the UAE, even, the Minister of Economy tweeted about our deal and, and it's really good because it's good for the economy. We were able, thanks to God, to really attract such a company at this level to come and invest in this part of the world and specifically in the UAE because, we are headquartered in the UAE. And,
Are you still open in Lebanon?
No, we shut down everything.
Okay, so it's mainly your hub is here initially, and you have seven countries.
We are headquartered in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, and we have our presence in all of the GCC countries, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, and we just started now heading towards Southeast Asia, and this is the plan that, we discussed with our partners and they are very excited about that. We're going to Southeast Asia. We started in Singapore and we're opening now Malaysia, our first 3 stores. So we're going to go more towards that part of the world.
We'll touch on that a bit, but I interrupted you. You were saying in the UAE, the Ministry of Economy.
So today, the support that they give you, and, we wouldn't have made it in any other place because from A to Z, the ease of doing business here, the ease of bringing money, sending money, repatriation of capital, of profit, ownership, everything from A to Z. The logistics, the infrastructure, everything is there. There's no headache here. All what you have to concentrate is on your business. Concentrate on your business and we will do the rest. Of course, they were very welcoming to what has taken place. And we are very proud that we represent this country outside with suppliers. And we are very proud to be a UAE-based company.
I totally agree with that. I feel like I would have never figured out my potential as much as I have now. The fact that I've been here for 17 years, my only taste of business has been here. I graduated at 21 and I came here straight away. I'm 38 now. I honestly always talk about this, like the opportunity, because they've taken away, the government has taken away all the distractions. We don't talk about all these things that distract us. You guys are here for business and you're more than welcome and will facilitate whatever is possible, but just focus on business. And with that mindset, it's really like embedded into all of us. Everybody, all the expats feel like a piece of home is here.
True,
It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so do you feel like something has to suffer, your personal life or your business life, or you can manage both while you run such a big operation?
If I will tell you that no, it's easy, I will manage both, I'll be lying.
Yeah.
It's always a challenge for you to be able to create the work-life balance, and it's always one is on the expense of the other. We've been suffering from day one. Of course, at the beginning of the business, there's nothing called even looking into work-life balance. It's only work, 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 and that's what I always tell everyone. You don't have the luxury of trying to find the balance. But now, thanks God, we're able to really create this balance by, once you are on this side, try to give it all what you have, and when you are on that side, give it all the time that you have. So don't do business when you're with your family, and at the same time, don't distract yourself while you are in business.
I'm from a family where my mom never worked. She was home all the time with us. My dad did work, but I don't necessarily think that my mom made the best decision. I would have preferred for my mom to lead by example, that she could kind of, help guide, work, do her thing, find a passion, something she loves, maybe not even like for money, but maybe just as a hobby, I don't know, just to find something that she's interested in outside of the family. And I only learned that because when we did leave and my mom found herself almost with nothing and all she has is us, and she forgot who she was as a person. So sometimes on that point, the work-life balance is not necessary as much as it is quality time with your loved ones. So if you have time, even if it's 2 hours in a day, it's 100% quality time, as opposed to just being present for 8 hours and maybe fed up and tired. And, so maybe something has to suffer one time and the other. But I think in the bigger picture, most kids appreciate their parents and they're so proud when they say, wow, look what my dad did. Look what my mom did.
Yes.
They don't remember the times, but he wasn't there when, even on basic stuff, but he was there for 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day. And that 1 hour a day, he, spent the whole time talking to me about school. That is more of something what people appreciate.
When they are watching you, even if you, let's say, indulge more into your work space and your work environment, and you really are trying or sacrificing from the quality time with them. When they see the progress, say, wow, this hard work really paid off. They will forget all of these moments and be more proud, as you are saying.
They want to show you off, like, look what my dad did. That's really cool,
Yes.
I love that. So now that you talked about your leadership, what was the hardest conversation you had to have once as a leader?
Okay, listen, being a leader is very important. You have to find always the happy middle between being a solid decision maker, but at the same time, you have to be pragmatic. So sometimes, on many occasions, you will find yourself in isolation, because at the end of the day, you are the ultimate decision maker. Of course, you base it on, try to support it with numbers, with figures, with making your decision as much as you can. But there is also a bit of a hunch that you have to follow also, while doing decision making. The most difficult ones are when you have to take a decision that is not popular. And, this is your family. Okay, I understand, I love you and everything, but this is in the best interest, long-term best interest of everyone. So these moments are a little bit critical.
Do you have a specific one you want to share?
I don't have in my mind a specific moment, but
that's the hardest one. You need to trust your gut or trust your judgment.
In general, and you go through this a lot. It's not like once in a blue moon. You will go through this because at the end of the day, it's very important to maintain your people and the best interest of your people.
Do you think it's important to fire quickly or to give chances before you fire?
You give chances. It depends on the position. It depends how critical it is. It depends on many factors. It's not one rule that fits all. I think it goes by the position more.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to also have like leverage or, you know, like someone weighing on the business,
Yes.
but you're like, it's okay, I'll just
Yes.
leave him here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But of course, always we try to give chance, one chance, two chance. But you know, in some delicate, let's say, positions, you know, there's no room.
So they say that, I mean, it's actually doing them a favor and doing you a favor,
Yes.
because if they're not fit for the position, you're
Yes.
helping them move on quicker.
Yes. And pay them upfront their notice period. Thank you. Very nice letter, appreciation letter and everything. Let them go their way.
Because I have a few friends in this position where it's been 2 years they want to, you know, fire someone, and 2 years they just can't. And I'm like, it's 2 years of your money,
Yeah, you
and
cannot.
it's paid a lot. Like, what are you
cannot.
doing?
You cannot, because it's not only you lost 2 years, it will delay you back more than 2 years.
Yeah. What do you think you have gotten wrong along the way? And on the flip side, what are you most proud of? What was like one big mistake that set you back? And on the flip side, what are you most proud of?
Something that set me back and something that I'm proud of. Of course, what set me back is at a certain point when I was not up to date in terms of technology and the idea of believing of digital business. And you know, I'm 1971 born, and I'm not very technological. And people coming telling me, you have to go digital, it's very important. And at the beginning, you know, my mentality was not absorbing the idea of digital. But of course, I always try to listen to the people. So I regret that at the beginning I was telling, no, it's never gonna work. You know, we're a brick and mortar concept. We're a treasure hunt experience. How you want people to go online? How much is gonna cost us to put each and every item? Because we don't have depth.
Yeah.
It's 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 pieces, 4 pieces. And then I listened to the people, and they had solutions, and they demonstrated the solutions for me. And I said, wow, okay. I regret delaying them. I delayed them for like 4 or 5 months on the project. This is the only one I regret.
Interesting.
I'm proud of course, the most proud of is the recognition that we got lately from TJX.
Amazing. So let's go to that place of technology. So it's funny that you say that you're not digital, because your presence on social media personally is huge now. Is that one of the moments that they advised you to also be at the forefront and have a face to the brand?
This was advised not by my people, by a friend.
Okay.
You know, and it happened by coincidence, and I just did the first video, 450,000 views, and then I said, okay, I'm not digital, but I
have a personality.
I know opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get me? So I said, wow, this is like, I can connect to the Gen Zs. I can connect to the young people. I can take this business to the next level. I can tell them what I'm doing. I can share with them experience. It's so rewarding. It's unbelievable. I love it. I love it.
I totally agree. I mean, most people assume, at least back in the day, that social media is just for influencers, you know, posting about what they ate. But I really, truly believe that every single person who has a business needs to be on social media if you want to reach a broader audience. If you're a doctor, if you're an engineer, if you're a big business owner. I mean, look at you. You're a huge example. You're, chairman, CEO of the company, and you're on social talking to people.
Daily.
It makes you relevant daily.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
I'm glad that you're actually leading by example in that capacity. It's great. Let's move on to like a bit of a growth mindset and advice. What is something about being a CEO that nobody talks about that you'd like to share with us?
I think what I mentioned in terms of the isolation with yourself,
That.
sometimes especially when you have other points of view, but you have to show decisiveness, and at the same time you have to be diplomatic into passing the message to the people around you. You don't want to make them doubt that you have, or think that you have any doubt in them, rather than that the decision, even if it is singular, that it's a collective decision. So here where you play, sometimes you play politics, you play some, you have to be diplomatic, and you have to try to convince them that it was also their decision.
Yeah.
So it's very tricky, very difficult sometimes, but you have to do it. In most cases, or in lots of cases, you have to do it because you feel it's better, you feel it's good. You try to support it as much as you can with figures, with numbers, with statistics, of course, it's not like, I feel like this. I feel today the moon should be green. No, it should be supported. And but at the end of the day, you have to remember that these people also, they believe that they are leaders and they are decision makers. And you always have been telling them that I trust you decision making and everything. But this time I'm gonna pass. Okay, how to do it in the
without
right
breaking
manner.
their confidence. Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So I hate politics, but unfortunately, this is the thing that sometimes, and in a lot of occasions, the CEO should play politics.
I don't know if I would call it politics as much as it is you being an empathetic leader. Like, you care that they don't feel unheard or lack confidence. It matters to you. So you're kind of being diplomatic in how you approach it and sensitive, because you could very easily just say, I said so. So I'm so sorry.
But you lose them.
Exactly.
You lose their motivation. You lose their self-confidence, about the way they're doing their decision making. But at the end of the day, it's a mix of both.
So a lot of people push, the concept of trying to be an entrepreneur, trying to make it on your own. But I also believe that it's possible to work for a corporation and be an intrapreneur, to also have the entrepreneur mentality.
Yes.
And maybe shift a huge, direction for the company, propose the idea, open up a new avenue altogether, create a role for yourself that doesn't exist. And that is entrepreneurship.
100%.
Intrapreneurship.
In a lot of cases, whereby if you are, let's say, an outstanding manager or employee or manager or C-suite, you become part of the business. You become a partner. They offer you partnership. They offer you, and you've done this ourselves. We've done this.
I wanted to ask you, is there a specific position that was created within your firm that never existed before by somebody who had that potential?
We had, and I'm very proud of this gentleman who is part of our company. His name is Ayman Baidoun. And
you're sure you want me to put his name? People might poach him from your company if he's not good.
Nobody can take him. I will tell you why. He started as Chief Operating Officer, and then he became Deputy CEO, and I just appointed him last week CEO. He's the CEO now of the company, and we gave him share in the company. Now Ayman is a partner.
What has he done that was remarkable for the company?
Everything. He's you always have to prepare the future leadership. And now he's going to be spearheading the future leadership. He is the leader now.
So what's the mindset that you have to have in order for you to be an Ayman one day? What do you think Ayman's mindset was from the beginning?
He treated this business as if it is his own business. He believed that this business is his own business until it really became his own business. If you put yourself in this mindset and you work relentlessly, night and day, no life-work balance, work, company comes first, and you start, venturing here and venturing there, automatically you're going to reach, even if you are an employee. And look at him today. He's a shareholder.
I love that so much. That's very inspiring, actually. Because firstly, you said work, work, work. That might scare people, but I think in general, if you care, if it's something you're building and growing, and like you said, if it's for legacy, if it's for generations, if it's for value to society, it no longer feels like you need the holiday or you need the balance. It just becomes what you do. You know, you're just working because it's part of what you do and what you want to grow and build. It doesn't feel like you're losing somewhere else. You know, like most people that are doing jobs they don't like, they count the days to go on holiday. They count the days to leave at 6 p.m.
And not only this, I say work, work, work as an entrepreneur at the beginning of your life.
Because it will give you value.
Rather than staying an employee to the end of your life and replacing work, work, work with fear, fear, fear. Because these people are living paycheck to paycheck. They have a lot of commitments. They have children. They have tuitions. They're growing old. They're going to be replaced. They're going to be terminated. You choose. It's your choice. Work, 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 or fear, fear, fear.
You know, I read in a book, I think it was Tony Robbins' book on money. He said, when they've asked a pool of people, the Gen X, what is your biggest fear in life? The majority of them, 80% of them said, not death, not living with my children. It was outliving my savings.
For example, can you imagine you living with this fear for the rest of your life?
To be confined to your home at the end of your days because you cannot afford to do anything.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, very tough. Like extremely tough.
So work, work, work. So you don't have that fear,
Exactly,
right? 100%. Because most people are worried to, I just want to enjoy a bit right now, but you have the stamina and the energy right now. When you're 60, 70, 80, you won't have that stamina. And if you want to live, but you can't because you did not plan for your future, it's a problem. It's scary.
That's the message I try to give on social media to my children, to my people around me, to my even employees. Even if an employee comes to me, say, listen, I want to quit. I want to go start my own thing. My first reaction is not, no, don't go. No, show me the business plan. Maybe I can give you some advice.
Yeah.
Because I encourage them to go do their own thing.
I love that. Okay. So you said you're expanding to Southeast Asia.
Yes.
So what do you think is going to be the biggest difference in the business model in Southeast Asia versus what it is in the Middle East?
Every business that goes to any country, of course, the more you go into regional, it will have more shift, let's say. Localization is extremely important for the success of your business. Anywhere you go outside your comfort zone, the country that you know, that you build your business on, the customer's profile, etc. So, of course, there will be some difference in taste, in the taste of the people. There's a difference in the sizes of, in that part of the world, different than this part of the world. And, of course, I believe the digital is going to be much stronger in that part of the world because they are much more tech savvy than our part of the world here. So there should be more concentration on the digital. And we have to listen to the likings of the customers, collect data about their shopping behavior. And today, the nice thing is that data is
currency.
Exactly. So it helps you a lot in guiding you regarding your business decisions.
Yeah. About culture, because now that you're expanding so much, I'm sure you have so much diverse cultures. What do you think is your primary theme or culture in the company, and how do you manage to get all this diversity into believing in one main culture?
Listen, diversity is extremely important. It enriches any atmosphere. You go to global cities like Dubai, like London, like Singapore. These are global cities where it's a meltdown of civilizations. It's always very rich. At the same time, having this globalization within your firm or company is also enriching for each other. The most important thing is to have set values that all people believe in, to have set objectives that is very clear, to have a reward system that is very transparent and everybody is looking for, and always connect them together. We connect them through town halls, we connect them through activities for the company. get the engagement always rolling.
Okay. All right. So you said that money isn't your biggest driver for success. What is the bigger picture for you in terms of, you being an entrepreneur and as a human being? What is the big picture of success for you?
The biggest picture of success, first of all, on a personal level, to be remembered as the greatest dad ever.
I love that.
So I would like to leave this image to my children, and I work hard on daily basis to leave this beautiful picture about me, which is me, by
And what legacy do you want to leave for them?
by giving them the care and the love and everything. Also, I want to leave the legacy for them to show them that, hard work pays off. So they will see it's not a story that or a book that we have read, rather than a life example that we have lived. Also looking into this business or this brand to outlive me for centuries to come. And at the end of the day, giving back, having your print on the lives of others, and something that is not only related with your life cycle, that's something that also will outlive you in the future.
So for society at large, aside from the family, what legacy would you hope people will remember you by?
As a kind, generous, charitable a person who really believed that he's only a channel.
Some of the most successful people I know and follow have the mindset of teaching the next generation and giving it free advice and detailed advice. And I know that you do that too. And a lot of skeptical people always say, okay, what are you trying to sell me? Are you trying to sell me a course? Because there's a lot of scammers out there that are just trying to get you into their course. But only a few are genuinely interested in building and sharing their knowledge with the next generation. And I think you're one of those people.
Thank you.
And you're really big in that in our region. So it's very impressive. And that's a form of giving back. It's not all about monetary charity, but this is how you give your time and your energy and your knowledge back. So I want to say on behalf of everybody that thank you.
Thank you so
for that.
Much. Thank you.
And one last question before we end this. The show is called What They Don't Tell Us. So if there's one important thing that you wish you knew before that you know now, what don't they tell us?
They don't tell you what is the basis of success. They teach us that success is perfection. And perfection does not exist. Success is about patience, about wisdom, about perseverance, about hard work, about standing up quickly after you fall. This is success. And the only way you're going to do it is through learning with time and through making mistakes. So cherish each and every mistake that you go through, because it's going to be in your bank account later. So I think this is the most important points.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much for your time. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I learned a lot. I'm sure the audience is going to love this conversation. So once again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for hosting me. Thank you.